like gravy from a ladle. Jack Ray has ridden the rails between Nacogdoches and New Orleans so many times he can tell his exact location at any point in the journey from the click-clack of the railroad tracks. Each stretch of track has a sound unique to its placement and geography. The rails are different. The terrain is different. The ties are different. The men who drove the spikes and the spikes themselves are different. Each rail is a note and creates a distinctive timbre and tone. There is only the sound of steel wheels rolling on iron track, and the night is black as a crow. Jack Ray is not his name. It is what folks call him. Jack Ray's Christian and given names died with his mama a long time ago. He's lying on his belly, arms spread, palms down, in the open swaying boxcar rattling towards Nacogdoches. Jack Ray's mind is wide open, and his thoughts are spilling out like gravy from a ladle. He cannot stop the thoughts. When Jack Ray isn't riding the rails between Nacogdoches and New Orleans, he walks the highways and back roads from Houston to Muscle Shoals. He's walked every highway and back road along the Gulf so often he no longer needs a map or directions. When he carried a map, in the beginning, he often thought the Gulf shoreline from the bottom of Texas to the tip of the Florida Keys looked like an upside-down smile. Jack Ray soon learned the whole damn region is grumpy. Grumpy and dangerous as hell. There are things in the night along any of the 5 states of the Gulf that will sooner kill you as look at you. They will kill you not from madness, nor anger, nor spite, but from just being plain grumpy and brimmed with discontent. Jack Ray has seen things that made his skin crawl and soul itch, and he's heard worse on those back roads. And the things that lurk at the crossroads have given him the shimmy shakes on multiple occasions. But forget about the back roads and Muscle Shoals for now. What Jack Ray does on these journeys is not pertinent at this juncture. Just know that there are worse creatures in the world than the ones written about in books. Tonight, Jack Ray rides the rails from New Orleans to Nacogdoches carrying a message for the bees. Jack Ray earns his keep by carrying messages from the voodoo queen in New Orleans to the bees in Nacogdoches, because the bees in Nacogdoches can carry messages to the between. The bees in Nacogdoches don't seem to give a good goddamn, and sometimes the voodoo queen needs messages sent and deeds done that require the particular temperament of these particular bees. It is not known if the bees in Nacogdoches are wild because they don't give a good goddamn, or don't give a good goddamn because they are wild. Not all wild bees are used for sending messages to the between, but all bees used to send messages to the between are wild. Well, except for a hive kept by an old crooked woman in Mississippi. And it is not really known whether the old crooked lady keeps the hive, or the hive keeps the old crooked lady. There is some debate over this. The point being, the bees in Nacogdoches are particularly salty and willing to break rules for good reasons. Jack Ray doesn't give a good goddamn either, which makes him the perfect pawn for the voodoo queen. She pays him in gree-gree bags, love and vengeance potions, and other things that don't exist. He sells the love and vengeance potions in gree-gree bags to tourists in the French Quarter. The other things he uses, well, for other things. Jack Ray jumped the train southeast of Nacogdoches and began the trek due west to intersect the Angelina River. It was moments before dusk when Jack Ray reached the horseshoe bend with the ancient oak dug in so deep it forced the river around it. It is in this oak the bees of Nacogdoches make their hive. It was the perfect time to talk to the bees. The timing was pure luck, not planning. People have been talking to the bees since the Greeks first settled along the Aegean, but if it is true, and it is, that the bees are a bridge to the between, then it is quite likely people have been talking to the bees since there have been people and bees. Most just tell the bees of births, marriages, travels, or other mundane life events. Some use the bees to deliver messages to departed loved ones stuck in the between. It is said if the bees are not kept abreast of the beekeeper's life and family, especially if they are not apprised of the beekeeper's death or extended travel, the bees will withhold honey, leave the hive, or outright die. Penalties are always paid. These aren't Jack Ray's bees. Jack Ray is no beekeeper. He made a peace with the bees as a child. They have fed him when he was hungry. They have shown the way to safety when he was lost, and once saved Jack Ray's life when La Llorona mistook him for one of her children. Years later, he was retelling his encounter with La Llorona in a bar in New Orleans. He was skunk drunk and rambling every which way. A minion of the Voodoo Queen overheard Jack's story and relayed it back to her. Jack Ray was summoned, and when the Voodoo Queen was convinced he was not lying, and the convincing hurt something awful, she offered him a trade in gree-gree bags and potions in exchange for relaying messages to the bees, and other errands as required. It is an equitable arrangement and keeps Jack Ray in pocket change and allows him to cross over into the between any time he becomes tired of walking this earth. He has not gotten that tired as of yet. Jack Ray's job is lonely. That's about the only drawback. It is quiet. He sits cross-legged, facing the tree with the river arcing around behind. Slowly, over the course of hours, one by one, the bees come and land on Jack Ray. Each has a place of their own. Same place as always. By midnight, the bees cover Jack Ray entirely, as if he does not exist, and of course, he does not exist. When Jack Ray opens his mouth to speak, more bees fly and crawl in, covering the whole of the inside of Jack Ray's mouth. Honeybees do not have ears. They sense only vibrations. They cover Jack Ray to absorb what he tells them. J.K. Newby left New Iberia 17 years, 4 months, and 2 days ago. He left a pregnant wife and 2 small children, girls both. He is somewhere to the west. He has a new name and likely a new family. It is asked that the Natmara find J.K. Newby and take him into madness. It is wished that the Natmara drive him to kill all he loves as he has killed those who loved him. There seems to be some debate among the bees. Then the bees leave all at once. Jack Ray slept under the ancient oak tree and left the next morning an hour before dawn. When he awoke, a honeycomb bigger than a man's fist lay at his side.